What's up, everyone, and welcome to another episode where we're going to talk about the cyber attack against Vodafone Portugal, which affected the 4G and 5G service. This attack was designed only to do damage, not a ransomware attack or data stealing, but damage. Now, if you didn't see my last episode where we talked about fake torrent websites being used to spread malware that could allow, for example, a hacker group to get into your company and disrupt or damage your company, the link is above. In case you already know this story we're about to talk about in this episode, I've broken the episode into two parts. Of course, I hope you'll watch the full episode and maybe you'll get a piece of information you missed the first time you read it. But if not, you can now skip right to the insights at the end of this episode, right from the timeline below. For the rest of you, let's go through the story and see what we can learn to protect ourselves and others.
Oh, drat these computers. They're so naughty and so complex. I could pinch them.
A cyber attack hit Vodafone Portugal, causing severe outages in the country of its communications and television services. Vodafone Portugal suffered this major cyber attack that caused service outages in the country. Media reported the temporary disruption of 4G and 5G communications and television services. Vodafone was the target of a network disruption that began on the night of February 7th, 2022, due to a deliberate and malicious cyber attack which affected the reputation of the company. As soon as the first sign of a problem on the network was detected, Vodafone acted immediately to identify and contain the effects and restore services, reads the announcement published by the company. Of course, that's what they say. Vodafone Idea Limited is an Aditya Birla Group and Vodafone Group partnership. It is India's leading telecom service provider. The company provides pan-India voice and data services across 2G, 3G, and 4G platforms. This situation is affecting the provision of services based on data networks, namely the 4G and 5G network, fixed voice, television, SMS, voice digital answering services. Vodafone labeled the incident as a deliberate and malicious attack intended to cause damage. The company has no evidence that customer data has been accessed as a result of the attack. The attack late Monday affected the company's 4G and 5G services, fixed line and SMS services, and digital and voice customer service, reported the Associated Press. At the time of the writing of the article, only the 3G network was up in anywhere in the entire country, and the company was working to restore the impacted services. Vodafone Portugal has over 4 million cell phone subscribers in the country and roughly 3.4 million home and business internet customers. As it is certain that the in-depth investigation of the criminal act to which they are subject to will continue indefinitely, and with the involvement of the competent authorities, Vodafone has no evidence to date that customer data was accessed or compromised. Vodafone's Portuguese unit said on Tuesday a hacker attack overnight had disrupted its services, but it assured its customers that their personal data had not been compromised as a result of the incident, which is under investigation. This gives the feeling like a different or a higher level of their network was actually attacked, not necessarily the business level where customer data might be stored, maybe further up the chain in terms of their services. Vodafone did not disclose details of the attack, but the outages and the unavailability of its system suggest the company was hit by a ransomware attack somewhere within the chain. Earlier this year, the Lapsus ransomware gang compromised the infrastructure of Impressa, the largest media conglomerate in Portugal. Impressa owns SIC TV channel and Espresso newspaper, among other leading media, like several magazine publications. Vodafone Portugal said in a statement its system faced technical problems on Monday evening, with thousands of customers reporting they were unable to make calls or access the internet on their phones or computers. Now, my favorite part. What can we learn? Well, while having TV or internet or your cell phone or your landlines disrupted can be a pretty big pain in the butt for, say, you and me as normal people, what's most troublesome about the Vodafone attack was that it affected some emergency services and hospitals that actually use Vodafone for their communications. So there's some things we need to think about for this particular attack, as well as attacks in general. So for this attack, was it just collateral damage that emergency services were affected from this random attack to Vodafone? Or was Vodafone attacked because The attackers knew some emergency services were dependent on Vodafone. Where is the line that separates an attack to emergency services and hospitals, which shouldn't be taken lightly, from a regular attack to a big company that happens to also provide services to key operations in the country? Was it a criminal offense here, or was it a terrorist attack? Now, if you recall the T-Mobile breach in 2021, it was something upwards of 100 million records that were stolen, full social security numbers, driver's licenses, dates of birth. That was a clear data exfiltration or potentially financially motivated attack, and not some terrorist attack against the actual company T-Mobile or their services with an attempt to disrupt critical infrastructure like hospitals. Now, a few episodes ago, I described the vast universe of different motivations behind cyber attacks. You might remember I said, cybercrime is a vast universe of activities that can include stealing information, stealing money, putting companies out of business, cheating at video games, cyberbullying, disrupting infrastructure now comes into play, or terrorist attacks now need to be thought about, as well as much more. Now, each of these individual goals have an almost unlimited number of ways to get from point A to point B, meaning deciding to do it, like deciding to steal 100 million records from T-Mobile, or potentially deciding to take out Vodafone's infrastructure with the end goal of disrupting emergency services. Making that decision to actually performing the attack. There are tons of ways to get from point A to point B. Now, with the Vodafone hack, we still don't even know if data was exfiltrated or who the attackers were. Did you know that the FBI currently monitors over 100 ransomware gangs? And there have been over 1,000 ransomware gangs spotted in the wild over the years? That's just ransomware. What about all the other types of attacks to infect networks with botnets for DDoS attacks, or hackers trying to steal your cryptocurrency, or groups like this one that are geared towards malicious disruption of services? This does show that as much as I say you need to improve your cybersecurity, your education, patch your software, blah, 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 cybersecurity and the maintenance of your safety is not just in your hands. Major companies that provide us with entertainment as well as necessary services like cell phone or internet, those companies have an obligation to improve their cybersecurity, patch their software, and walk the perimeter of their digital fortress to make sure theirs and our coveted activities are safe from these hackers. With that, I say thanks again for watching. Don't forget to share and subscribe if you haven't already. Smash the bell if you haven't already. And I'll see you on the next episode. Take care.
Don't forget to ride. Farewell.